All right, Dr. Rima Laibow is our guest, MD, and, of course, Major General Albert Stubblebine, the former head of Army Special Forces and the head of Army Intelligence. We're honored to have them both with us today. You were continuing, Dr. Laibow, to walk through the fact that, yeah, I have books, videos, products, advertising that funds my operation, and I have to spend most of my time, and I'm not whining about it, trying to raise money just to then have the money, you know, to do the broadcast, do the websites, make the films. And I understand this capitalization issue, and you guys have dropped everything the last many years just to fight this, and you're now in Panama. We'll get into that operation you're doing to try to get a truly sustainable community outside of this corrupt vortex. But, yeah, tell folks about your free mailing list. Tell folks if they want to donate, what that money will go to.
Absolutely. Bert and I closed our medical practice, which did supply us with an income and allowed us to have a lovely home and do the things that we enjoyed doing, skiing and dancing and so on, because this is a war and there is great evil afoot, and those who stand by while evil is being perpetrated become perpetrators themselves. That motivates you, Alex. It motivates us. So we closed our practice in late 2004, and we created the Natural Solutions Foundation. We created a website, healthfreedomusa.org, and then we applied the strategic and analytical skills that we used so successfully in our prior careers. Bert as a general involved in strategic intelligence, and I as a physician treating cases where nothing else had worked. And by the way, the official medical phrase when something hasn't worked is that, and you'll love this, the patient has failed therapy. Not that therapy has failed the patient, but that the patient has failed therapy. We closed that in order to take on this global health freedom problem. And one of the things that I do very well as a diagnostician in medicine is look at the whole picture and find the basic underlying error, either an error of metabolism or a toxification or a genetic problem or whatever, and use that as my fulcrum, the point at which by applying the lever of intervention, I can get the greatest result. So when we looked at this Codex Alimentarius, genocide, weaponization of food, tyrannical despoilment of the environment, and so on, and the murder of the constitutional body politic in the United States and elsewhere, I said, okay, what is the single central item here which has to be reclaimed, redefined, and put back into the hands of people in order to fix the whole damn system? And the answer is food. He who controls the world, food controls the world. That is the system that is being used at the center of world domination. I don't know whether other people have identified this crucial issue or not, but the fact is that's our analysis. And so we created the International Decade of Nutrition, the IDN, as part of the work of the Natural Solutions Foundation. And we said we need to return the production of food to the people, to the farmers, so they can feed their community, themselves, and their social system can remain intact. They're not driven off their land by the multinational corporations where they go, so that they go to the cities, become the abjectly poor, starve, and die, but instead become what they have always been, the people who essentially hold up society with food.
And that's what globalization, by the way, by design, as you know, Dr. Laibow and General Stubblebine, for the audience that may not, Agenda 21, all of this states, force the people. Take Mexico as a microcosm. Over the last 30 years, they forced the indigenous people off their cornfields where they've been for thousands of years. They forced them into Mexico City. Now 35 million people, around a third of the children born with a syndrome where they have the tiny brain, zombies basically. They never even develop, they die. That's then a staging ground to move them to the United States, to then drive down wages and break down the system here. Globalization is a war against the middle class and against the poor by the elites. And people need to go to your website, donate, support it. I think it's very worthwhile, but also spread the word about what you're doing and take the materials you've developed and deploy that with these natural systems of growing. I mean, you've developed some wonderful systems. So let's talk about some of those as well, and then get General Stubblebine to chime in. But please continue.
Let me suggest, thank you, Alex. Let me suggest that people go to our website and view a video there called Nutria Side, Nutricide. This is of extreme importance. And by the way, Alex, we have to work out a way that you can carry this as part of the wonderful information that you disseminate. This Nutria Side talks about the fact that this food genocide came out of World War II when the Nazi genocide failed, and it's tied intimately to the pharmaceutical industry. To go on, we decided that we had to demonstrate that it was possible to end world hunger and therefore eliminate 90% of world disease. And let me very quickly deal with the overpopulation issue. People say, yeah, but there really are too many people. The surest, quickest, and most efficient way to bring down the birth rate on a voluntary basis and enhance the quality of life in the community is to educate women, not to sterilize men and women. So we're talking about an alternative there. Women need to be educated, and that works in every culture, whether it's Muslim or Christian or atheist or whatever. So we decided that we needed to reclaim the production of food and demonstrate that it was possible to eliminate world hunger. We have some astounding technologies which have absolutely no environmental downside, but can increase food production by up to 600%, can increase nutrient density in food by up to 600%.